Hi everyone. I know these early morning videos are not like the most flattering, but it's always when I wake up that I get the insights that I most want to share. And I really want to share those hot off the presses. So here I am, just in this, just returned from the other world. Anyway, when unity consciousness comes to embody into a world, into a world that has been overtaken by a fallen template of separation consciousness, radical things have to happen to enable that unity consciousness to embody. One of those things is that certain beings and groups of beings have to prototype the journey from the total divorce between proton and electron all the way to the sacred marriage of proton and electron. And this is what we could define a fallen state of consciousness as: an inability for proton and electron to cross-pollinate each other into the unity field, because the unity field is generated by the cross-pollination, the fluid exchanging of proton and electron. And I often define this as the sacred marriage. I can show you this picture. It's move up. Anyway, this is a man and a woman. I guess my phone is not going to do it. But here's a man and a woman in this Romeo and Juliet picture that you can see. Let's see, where can you see it? Frustration. I think it's over. No, it's right there. Romeo and Juliet. So we see this beautiful representation of the masculine and feminine in this holy communion. And this is very much a representation of ascended earth, because the proton and the electron are joining and making love in this beautiful kiss, in this interface. And in this interface is all creation ascends in the interface of the proton and the electron, or the feminine and the masculine. And some of my friends that are really here as part of the amalgamation of gender don't like it when I even say masculine and feminine. So I can say proton and electron. How's that, everybody? Or I can say electro and magnetic. But for my generation, where there was a massive gender split, I still think of it as masculine and feminine. I think it's a beautiful way to see the resurrection of humanity. Metaphorically, with the proton and the electron. So, that was kind of an aside. Actually, it was very pertinent information for what I'm talking about. So the embodiment of the unity logos. Logos means blueprint. So the embodiment of the blueprint of unity into a world where a blueprint of total separation, imposter grid, is the norm, takes radical work on the part of light workers who come to this planet to ensure that that unity grid is reinstalled. And it's interesting. I have not met too many people that have as close an embodiment of the great divorce all the way to total ascended earth as I do in my life. And I mean, Laura Eisenhower and I are probably really pretty similar, and Heather Straube and I pretty similar, and Sibel Clements and Stasia Bliss, and all the beautiful, just deep, deep beloveds. And there's so many more friends that I could mention by name. But I want to talk a little bit about the particular journey in my body to help really illustrate what was done to create the fall of the earth into a fear-based reality. So I'm going to tell you some things that are kind of far-fetched and strange, but if you watch my videos at all, you're probably familiar with that kind of thing. So Lisa Renee, who's one of my main teachers, has informed us that the real point of damage in the human body and in the Mother Earth's body and in the body of all sentient life, or life that has a mitochondria, right? The mitochondria is the part of the cell that is responsible for creating adenine triphosphate, which is called ATP. And ATP is an energy carrier molecule. And it gets kind of complicated. Inside the mitochondria, there's the DNA strip, right? And there's the right side of the strip and the left side of the strip. Now, if protein synthesis occurs the way it should, we create the proteins that code for the architectures, for the housing of our light body. So you could imagine, like, you know, architects that need the codes to build a house so that the presence, the energy that's supposed to live in that house can indeed have a house to live in. So this is where the negative aliens attacked. They attacked the architecture. More specifically, they attacked the factory that codes for the architecture. So there was no code to be given to the architect. The body's like, where's the code? How do I build? And code was maintained up to the third dimensional level. Up to the third dimensional level, there was code. But dimensions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, no code. Because of this attack on the mitochondria. Which is what they wanted. Because if there's no code beyond the third dimension, we're trapped in a fear-based reality. We have no ability to link up to the higher self. Our love-based consciousness is basically cast out of physicality. It has no physical vehicle. So this is exactly what they wanted, so they could siphon and feed off of fallen beings who were trapped in the third dimensional enslavement. Right? It's good to just tell it like it is. Because if we don't know the fullness of the damage that was done, we don't really know the map of how to go back to unity. So it's incredible to have the real knowing of what was done. Basically, they took an axe and sliced the masculine from the feminine all the way above the third dimension to the 12th and installed imposter technology that would block communication. And this imposter technology is maintained through genetic engineering of food, through chemtrails, through scalar waves pulsing, sub-frequencies, frequencies that our ears can't even hear, through HARP, through all of these technologies. They're all designed to keep us in an inorganic state so that communication cannot happen in the mitochondria between the codons on the masculine and the feminine side of the mitochondria. So, yes. So in order to bring back the template of unity, what do we have to do? Well, we have to do the opposite. We have to unite the codons. We have to get this gender splitting garbage out of our mitochondria through the willingness to process all trauma, all pain that was instilled in our being to put us to sleep, and install this genetic garbage, imposter genetic garbage, and move that out and bring back the communication between the masculine and feminine, between the codon pairs, so that we can indeed return the code to our bodies. That protein synthesis can give the instruction set to manufacture mansions of beauty, all the rooms in the house that the human divinity was meant to have. So this is it, guys. Penetrating through the veils of all the pain of this great separation between the two sides of self. Lover and beloved exist in us. Oftentimes this, you might say, this pollination, cross-pollination of unity into a being of separation is felt through romantic love. Romantic love is the closest approximation to the healed DNA, because you feel this interface of lover and beloved in this ecstatic communion. And that is our divine blueprint. So many of us may go through addiction after addiction. My addiction of choice has been romantic love. It's been the main messenger from the world of unity consciousness, giving me the blueprint. And every time receiving that instruction set, taking it home and establishing once again more union, more communion inside the genetic code. Now, my body was sliced in half and massive death spell technology was put in there to prevent communication. That's why it's kind of cool, because my body illustrates exactly what was done to the mitochondria. Isn't that wild? Of course, this is total past life when this happened. It didn't happen in this life. Okay, I'm going to stop because I think 12 minutes is enough for one video, and then I'm just going to start another one. Okay.